This is Angie. Angie was presenting with an odd gait and lameness, and we were trying to figure out with our veterinarian what was going on. We actually had her see several veterinarians to try to diagnose what was happening. She was off, and her hind legs were off, and the vets couldn't figure out what was going on. And we went through this for maybe a year or two of diagnostics. And then Joan and I reconnected, and we were talking, and she was like, well, let's do a little reading on Angie. And I was like, sure, why not, And she found that Angie had cervical arthritis, and she said, well, there's something in her neck, and she's arthritic and stiff, and it's relaying back to her hind legs. And I thought, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so I very covertly called my veterinarian, and I said, what do you think about, I couldn't tell my vet what was going on or how I figured this out, but I said, what do you think about arthritis? And the vet said, of course, let's take her to the Santa Anita racetrack and do a nuke scan and see what we find. And we found, sure enough, we found the cervical arthritis, and that was actually radiating to her hind end, and it was causing her hind end to have some numbness. And so we were able to, oh my gosh, she is such a clown. She knows where the And the only way she's getting away with this is that the owner of this bag loves her so much and gives her treats. Oh my gosh, she has so much to say.
Oh
She's
my
like,
gosh,
just so you know, this is Jenny's
on
bag. She's
That's
like, this
awesome.
is Jenny's bag, ladies. And Jenny has a message as well.
But what's really
My
cool,
God.
aside from getting treats, is that
Yes.
we're circling back around almost 10 years later and
Yes.
doing some healing work, or 8
Yes.
years later.
Yes, 10 years later, here we are, and we're doing some healing work. And I wanted to say that this first initial reading with Joan saved Angie's life, because we did not know where to go. She was having a hard time getting up out of her stall. And once we figured out that it was this arthritis, we were able to just go straight to treatment, and she got better. And she improved so much, and then she was able to be ridden again and go out on trail rides and stuff, which she loved, and teach lessons, which she loves so much. And it really gave her her awesome quality of life back to her, which was just great for her. You can see she has a lot of personality. And so, so circling back around now, we're coming back and we're doing more treatments for her as she injured herself and had a couple extra injuries that she's adding to her repertoire right now. And we're treating those things. And she's
getting her
feeling,
carrots.
and getting her carrots, apparently. She's treating herself to carrots. She says she knows where all the skeletons are buried in the barn, or the carrots.
That's funny. All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome.